Hello, Movie Newscast family, and welcome back to the channel. In the past 24 hours, we've received the heartbreaking news of the loss of some truly remarkable individuals. Today's episode is a tribute to their incredible legacies. Peter, Paul and Mary singer Peter Yarrow is dead after a long battle with cancer. Times has confirmed. Peter died Tuesday at his home on Manhattan's Upper West Side. According to his publicist, Ken Sunshine, who tells us Peter's cause of death was bladder cancer. We're told Peter was diagnosed with cancer 4 years ago and battled the disease until his death. Peter mostly provided tenor vocals for the famous 1960s folk trio, but he also sang lead vocals for some of Peter, Paul, and Mary's biggest hits, most notably Puff the Magic Dragon. He co-wrote Puff in 1959 when he was studying at Cornell University, and he also provided lead vocals on The Great Mandala and Day Is Done, which cracked the top 20 on the Billboard charts. Peter even turned the timeless children's song into a picture book for kids. The last time we saw Peter, he told our photo why Puff was never a song about drug use and explained how the dragon got its famous name. Peter's the second member of Peter, Paul, and Mary to die. Mary Travers died way back in September 2009, and now Paul Stuckey is the last surviving member. Peter was 86. Rest in peace. Richard Cohen, Meredith Vieira's husband of 38 years, has died following a decades-long battle with multiple sclerosis. The Today Show, where Meredith served as co-anchor between 2006 and 2011, announced Richard's passing Tuesday morning, confirming Richard, a fellow newsman, had died on Christmas Eve while surrounded by his family. Today, co-anchor Savannah Guthrie said Meredith is in really good spirits, with Hoda Kotb also revealing the family was happy to get an extra month with Richard when the family became very concerned about his health at Thanksgiving. Savannah further praised Meredith for her devotion to Richard, who she said simply adored Meredith in return. Richard's death caps his 50-year battle with multiple sclerosis, also known as MS, a chronic neurological disorder that impacts the brain, spinal cord, and other parts of the nervous system. Meredith first learned of Richard's diagnosis on their second date, which she previously said wasn't enough to keep her from pursuing a relationship with the news producer. However, MS wasn't the only health hurdle Richard faced in his lifetime. He survived colon cancer twice. Richard is survived by Meredith and their 3 adult children, Benjamin, Gabriel, and Lily. He was 76. Rest in peace. Filmmaker Jeff Baena, best known for directing films like Life After Beth and The Little Hours, and the husband of Aubrey Plaza, has died. Tims has learned. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ police and fire responded to a Los Angeles area home Friday around 10:30 a.m. for a death investigation, after an assistant discovered him dead. Baena was pronounced dead at the scene. Law enforcement says he died by suicide. After getting his film degree at New York University, Jeff moved to LA to launch his movie career, initially landing lower-level jobs with famous directors such as Robert Zemeckis and David O. Russell. It was his work with Russell that put him on the map. The two collaborated on 4 screenplays, including I Heart Huckabees, starring Dustin Hoffman and Lily Tomlin. Around this time, Baena began focusing on directing his own movies, such as his first feature, the 2014 horror comedy, Life After Beth, starring John C. Reilly, Molly Shannon, and Aubrey Plaza. Baena also directed the 2016 flick, Joshi, and 2017's The Little Hours, as well as 2020's Horse Girl. In 2021, Aubrey revealed she and Jeff had tied the knot in an Instagram post after about a decade of dating. As you know, her career kicked off when she starred in the show Parks and Rec in 2009, and has gone on to appear in projects like Emily the Criminal and The White Lotus. She also gushed over their wedding while appearing on Drew Barrymore's talk show back in 2021, explaining what it was like to be married to someone you work with as well. We've reached out to Aubrey's reps. So far, No word back. Baina was 47. Rest in peace. Phoenix police are investigating the stunning death of former Orioles pitcher Brian Matusz. He was 37. I can confirm we responded to a dead body call at a home near 44th Street and Campbell Avenue at about 2:45 p.m. MT on Monday. Phoenix police Phil Krinsky told NBC News. The deceased person found was indeed 37-year-old Brian Matusz. Currently, this incident is being handled as a death investigation. The Orioles and the University of San Diego, where the Southpaw became the most accomplished pitcher in program history from 2006 to 2008, announced his death Tuesday. USD said in a press release that Matusz's family first shared the news that day. Our hearts are heavy tonight as we mourn the passing of former Oriole Brian Matusz, the Orioles said. A staple in our clubhouse from 2009 to 2016, Brian was beloved throughout Birdland, and his passion for baseball and our community was unmatched. He dedicated his time to connecting with any fan he could, was a cherished teammate, and always had a smile on his face. Matusz made 279 of his 280 career appearances with the Orioles, who drafted the left-handed pitcher with the 4th overall pick in 2008. He went 27-41 with a 4.92 ERA, spanning an 8-season career from 2009 to 16. Former Orioles manager Buck Showalter, who managed Matusz from 2010 to 16, said he spoke with many of Matusz's Orioles teammates after learning of his death, adding that he was stunned by the news. My grandmother taught me to love God above all things, therefore I will mourn in her memory, said the artist in a post translated from Spanish to English. El Alfa will be stepping away from music after letting fans in on news of his grandmother Ramonita's death last week. The 34-year-old Dominican rapper, whose real name is Emmanuel Herrera, took to Instagram on January 7 with an emotional post revealing he plans to retire later this year. I know life goes on, but my feelings don't go unnoticed. My grandmother taught me to love God above all things, therefore I will mourn in her memory, wrote El Alfa in a post, translated from Spanish to English, alongside photos with Ramonita and other family members. Her happiness was to see me succeed, that I can't even be awake. The artist, who holds 14.5 million Instagram followers and 20 million monthly Spotify listeners, continued, I am temporarily saying goodbye to my audience who loves me. I'll be back soon. Goodbye, Instagram. I could spend more time with her, but my work didn't allow it, said El Alfa. The days of my retirement are getting shorter. On December 18th this year, I will never sing again. Rest in peace, Grandma. #Ramonita. I love you. Last week, El Alfa shared several photos of the late Ramonita to Instagram and shared news of her death. Today is one of the saddest days of my life. I lost the love of my grandmother, he wrote. Since I came into this world, she always gave me all the love in the world and more. I am devastated. May God bless her. El Alfa continued at the time. Derek has been an inspiration and cherished member of our family and his hometown community, his family said in a statement. Derek Ward, a beloved news reporter based in Washington, D.C., has died. He was 62. NBC4 Washington, the station where Ward worked, announced his death on Wednesday, January 8. Ward died Tuesday, January 7 following complications from a recent cardiac arrest, his family said in a statement shared with the station. Derek has been an inspiration and cherished member of our family and his hometown community. As a longtime reporter at News 4 Washington and previously WTOP Radio, the statement continued. As a distinguished journalist, Derek's storytelling, prolific writing, warmth, and humor touched countless lives. Our children and our entire family will miss him dearly. He is survived by his 3 children, Derek, Jr., Ian, and Marisa. We ask for your thoughts and prayers during this time, and we extend our gratitude to everyone for the outpouring of love and support. Details regarding his memorial service will be shared in the coming days. Their statement concluded, Ward began his career in radio before moving on to WPFO, YMU, and WTOP. During his time as a journalist, he covered career-defining stories such as the Iran-Contra hearings, the September 11 attack on the Pentagon, and the Washington area sniper shootings, per NBC. His first on-camera reporting job was for Buffalo's WKBW-TV. He later made his way back to Washington in 2006 as part of the NBC family. Ward grew up in D.C. and was a student at H.D. Woodson High School before attending the University of Maryland. The late artist's collaborator Jay Pluck confirmed he died on Saturday, January 4. Cult folk musician and painter Ed Askew has died. He was 84 years old. People can confirm that Askew had been battling ongoing health struggles, and he had been in hospice care. However, no cause of death was revealed. Ed was a brave gay songwriter from the beginning, and I hope more come to know this. Jay Pluck, Askew's manager/friend, said in a statement to People, Ed's music changed the lives of people from many generations and continues to do so. News of his death was confirmed on Instagram by Pluck, who wrote that the artist/musician died on Saturday, January 4. Rest in peace, Ed Askew, Deck 1, 1940. Jan 4, 2025. We love you forever, Pluck captioned an Instagram post, which featured a video of Askew performing live and a shot of him standing in front of artwork. He then quoted lyrics from Askew's 2013 track, Crazy Angels, before revealing a memorial will take place in early spring. Please do reach out to me anytime, and I will respond as soon as I can, added Pluck. More pics to come. Ed was a genius artist and a genius person, and I love him. Meanwhile, Jerry David DeSica, who produced Askew's 2013 LP For the World, paid tribute to the late singer on Instagram on Sunday, January 5. Goodbye, Ed Askew. You were loved and always will be. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life and music. Producing For the World was an honor. David wrote on Instagram alongside an image of the late musician's records and a photo of him with a black dog. Born in Stamford, Con, Askew relocated to New Haven to study painting at Yale Art School in 1963. Askew also had a prolific painting career. Throughout the last 2 years, he exhibited new paintings at Star Suites in Brooklyn and Xavier Hufkins in Brussels. He was also a poet who performed regularly at Poetry Project and published books. Robert Bob Lammle, the president of the Los Angeles-based Lammle Theaters, who ran the chain until his son Greg took over in 2004, died Thursday in Santa Monica. He was 89. Bob Lammle was born in Paris and came with his parents, who were fleeing the Nazis, to the U.S. in 1938. He graduated from Marshall High School, where he was a basketball star, and from Cal State LA, and received an MBA from UCLA. Lammle Theaters was established that same year by his father Max and Kurt Lammle, German immigrants who were nephews of Universal Pictures founder Carl Lammle. Bob Lammle started working in his father's theater at the age of 14 at their first location in the Highland Park neighborhood. He recounted in a Lammle 75th anniversary booklet. After working as a banking trainee, he joined the family business officially in 1963 to help open a Pasadena location, since the only Lammle location at the time was in Los Feliz. Bob Lammle helped redefine the image of an art house, programming and innovatively marketing films from around the world. He is survived by his wife Michelle Lammle, children Yvonne Asher and Leonard Laub, Michael and Haiti Asher, David and Tammy Asher, Greg and Tish Lammle, Jessica Lammle, Carrie Bisbee, Mitch and Debbie Needleman, Maitland Finley and Robert Finley. Anita Bryant, a Grammy-nominated singer, TV personality, and orange juice pitchwoman whose show business career was submerged in the public eye by her anti-gay crusades of the late 1970s, died December 16 at her home in Edmond, Oklahoma. She was 84. Her death was announced in an obituary in the Oklahoman. A cause of death was not revealed. Born on March 25, 1940, in Barnesdall, Oklahoma, Bryant grew up in a devoutly Christian family, with her love of music and singing leading to her own TV show at the age of 12, according to the obituary. At 18, she was crowned Miss Oklahoma and would soon appear on the CBS variety show hosted by Arthur Godfrey and the Dick Clark-hosted American Bandstand. Bryant also became the frequent butt of jokes on late-night talk shows, particularly in the monologues of Johnny Carson, on Saturday Night Live, and The Carol Burnett Show, in sitcoms such as Golden Girls and Designing Women, and in Armistead Maupin's 1980 novel More Tales of the City. Her reputation all but synonymous with intolerance, her show business career evaporated, and by the late 1990s she had filed for bankruptcy. In 2006, she founded Anita Bryant Ministries International in Oklahoma City. She is survived by 4 children, 2 stepdaughters, and 7 grandchildren and their spouses. Jack Waddell, a former opera singer who became a beloved and revered vocal coach for such Broadway stars as Brian Stokes Mitchell, Jessica Vosk, and Brandon Victor Dixon, died January 1 at his home in Bloomington, Illinois, under the care of friends. He was 83. His passing was announced by students Dixon, Vosk, and Owen Rosansky. A cause of death was not immediately available. Born John A. Waddell on March 31, 1941, in Bloomington, Illinois, Waddell enjoyed a decades-long career in music and was honored by the American Theater Wing as an unsung hero of Broadway in 2023. At the organization's gala that year, he was introduced by Dixon. Waddell had studied voice at Illinois Wesleyan University where, upon graduating in 1963, he set his sights on the opera stages of New York City. Finding few opportunities in opera for black performers, Waddell moved to West Germany, where he became a trailblazer in his field for people of color, captivating audiences with his technical accomplishment and emotional depth. In addition to appearing in European productions of such operas as Don Carlos, he would often cross over to musical theater. In a 1968 Munich production of Hair, he shared the stage with an unknown Donna Summer. Fluent in several languages, most notably German and Italian, Waddell enjoyed a successful and prolific opera, concert, and TV career in West Germany before returning to the United States in the 1980s. In 2023, Waddell was honored by the American Theater Wing, co-presenter of the Tonys, with the organization's annual award for Unsung Hero of Broadway at the Wing's Gala. Celebrations of Waddell's life will be held in Bloomington-Normal, Illinois, New York City, and Hamburg, Germany at dates to be announced. Pritish Nandi, the Indian poet, journalist, producer, and filmmaker, died January 8. He was 73. Born in 1951 in Bihar, he produced many films such as Bollywood Calling, Sur, Kant, Chamli, and Hazaran Quayshain Azi, among others. Numerous figures in Indian entertainment have been paying tribute to the influential figure, whose death was confirmed to local news sites by his son, Kushan Nandi. Nandi also produced comedy drama 4 More Shots Please, which won an International Emmy nomination in 2020, and romantic anthology series Modern Love Mumbai for Prime Video. He was also a prolific journalist, serving as the publishing director of the Times of India Group, as well as editor of the Illustrated Weekly of India, The Independent, and Filmfare in the 1980s. He was also a recipient of India's civilian honor, the Padma Shri, in 1977, as well as an International Humanitarian Award in 2012. Jeff Baena, a screenwriter and director whose credits include the offbeat comedies The Little Hours and Life After Beth, has died. He was 47. A spokesperson for Baena confirmed his death. His body was discovered on Friday at a Los Angeles residence, according to the LA County Coroner's Office, which determined the cause of death to be suicide. Baena was the husband of Aubrey Plaza, who starred in his films The Little Hours, a 2017 black comedy set in a 14th century convent, and Life After Beth, a zombie satire. The Little Hours was loosely inspired by the Decameron, as well as Baina's college coursework in medieval and Renaissance studies. Critics praised the film's modern sensibility and irreverence, while reviewers also lauded Life After Beth for its idiosyncratic, often hilarious, take on a well-worn horror genre. Baina's other directing credits include 2022's Spin Me Round, a dark comedy that stars Alison Brie, who co-wrote the script, as well as Joshi, a dramedy with Thomas Middleditch, Adam Pally, and Nick Kroll. Brian Baina also collaborated on Horse Girl, a 2020 psychological drama. Baina is survived by Plaza, as well as his mother Barbara Stern, stepfather Roger Stern, father Scott Baina, and stepmother Michelle Baina. Other survivors include his brother Brad Baina and stepsister and stepbrother Bianca Cabay and Jed Fluxman. Richard Thomas became a familiar face on television screens during the 1970s, winning over audiences with his charm and talent. As his career took off, he met and married his first wife, and the couple seemed to have a picture-perfect life together, until she blindsided him with a divorce that left him reeling. The experience brought Richard to a crossroads, and while he never expected to marry again, life had other plans. He was lucky enough to meet someone who brought joy back into his life. Take a closer look at his life over the years, including his first marriage, meeting his second wife of over 30 years, and how they built their beautiful blended family. Richard became a household name thanks to his unforgettable portrayal of John Boy Walton in the beloved CBS drama series, The Waltons. His performance as the aspiring writer from rural Virginia earned him widespread acclaim, including an Emmy Award win and 2 Golden Globe nominations. After his success on The Waltons, he continued building an impressive career. However, it was his personal life that often piqued fans' curiosity, particularly his first marriage to Alma Gonzalez, a romance that seemed plucked from a storybook. The actor met Alma at a Middle Eastern nightclub called the Fez in Los Angeles, where she was practicing folk dancing. He recalled how he couldn't take his eyes off her, saying, "She was obviously the best dancer there, and I kept ending up with her." Their connection quickly blossomed, and the couple tied the knot on Valentine's Day in 1975. The ceremony was intimate, taking place at Richard's childhood Baptist church on Manhattan's Upper West Side, a far cry from the glamorous Hollywood backdrop many might have expected for a TV star. The bride, born in Los Angeles, studied at a local junior college and dedicated her time to teaching English. While she wasn't a professionally trained dancer, she proved to be a natural, as her grace on the dance floor impressed her future husband. After their wedding, the couple spent their honeymoon in New York City, where Richard made sure to treat his new wife to a handsome cab ride around Central Park. The pair soon became proud parents. In addition to their son, Richard Jr., the couple made headlines when Alma gave birth to triplet daughters, Barbara, Gwyneth, and Pilar. The triplets' arrival was a surprise for the couple. Initially expecting twins, a trait that ran in both families, they were shocked when a third heartbeat was discovered during a routine checkup. Richard embraced fatherhood with enthusiasm, playing an active role in raising his children. "I've always taken them to school, made breakfast, made dinner," he shared.